Okay, perfect. Good evening, everybody. I am Tanya Sheldon. I'm an EC1 coming to you out of Meridian, Idaho. And I know more people are going to be coming on, but if any of you right now that are on here are new to the team, I just want to say welcome to you. I know there's a lot of people joining right now. So welcome and congratulations. And we're so happy you're here. I just have a couple quick announcements before we get to our special guest. And I just want to remind you of everything that's happening right now. Number one, the July promo that goes until the end of Wednesday, remembering that if you bring in a new consultant, LifeVantage is matching their earnings. This is unprecedented. So 75% in July, 50% in August, 25% in September. Please do not discount the power of what that can do for somebody. Also, if you earn an enroll track this month, 750 points, 150 must come from a new consultant, you get double points. That is a great foundation to get you started to earning the Alaskan cruise. So double points this month. On July 31st, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is another open house. We all saw the power of that last week with Sean Poe. So buckle up and really make sure that you get people. What a great way to have energy month end and to close it strong, taking momentum into August. And then August 1st, not forgetting that we have the FAB first of the month Zoom. That will be at 6:30 p.m., I think. Anyway, you'll get information on that. Write that in your calendar as well. And lastly, get to Kansas City. Please make sure you register, okay? We all know GLP-1, that's what's coming. And we will be able to be present. The energy is going to be infectious. That's October 11th and 12th. So make sure you get registered and make sure that you plan and get your hotel, get roommates, and get that going. So I have to tell you, I made this gentleman, Dr. Daniel. I feel like you are, but Daniel Song, I reached out to him on Facebook because hearing about the power of what he was bringing to LifeVantage, becoming an EC2 in 17 days. And I asked him if he would be like the incentive to a team challenge that I put out there. Like he was the prize. And he said yes, and he blew our minds away. Like you guys saw at the last event, virtual event we had, like the way he educates and who he is, just such a solid, amazing human. And I did not know Daniel, but I mean, I knew that you were a designer, but you guys, this guy designs cars. Like, woo! Fuego, so cool. So anyway, look him up on Instagram. But most importantly, he is a father. He's a husband and a father to 4 children. He has 20 years in the network marketing experience. So you want to pay attention to what he has to say. And tonight, I wanted to ask him to come here because, again, he made such an impact on our team. But where we sit, Sean reminded us today, we have just 70 days until the launch happens. And there's a lot of noise right now in the network marketing space. And I just want Daniel's story to remind you of why you were in the right place at the right time. And also his story and why he came here to really ignite you and incentivize you that if you are feeling stuck or scared, now is the time to press go and put your foot on the gas again. So Daniel, with that, we talked a little bit, but I would just love for you again to just share your story and what it was about LifeVantage, like share that process of why you came here. And thank you for saying yes again. So grateful.
Well, again, I am excited and honored to always get a chance and opportunity to connect with all of you guys. Again, just being new to the company, it's always exciting to be embraced by, the leadership here, the what I consider the icons and the legends of this company. Like I still feel like the new kid. It reminds me of like when I was a freshman in high school. Like the school is big, the school is a little bit intimidating. You see the upperclassmen, right? Like the Sean and Michelle Poes, and you're walking around campus a little bit intimidated by some of the upperclassmen. But what I can tell you in my first 4 months is that this is by far way more welcoming than my high school was as a freshman. It's more exciting. It is, again, like I said, I share the story, one, to kind of as a testament and a reminder to the culture and the beauty of this company, but also just I think it's relevant because they're a part of your leadership team here. But I remember joining LifeVantage on day one and broadcasting a video. It was designed obviously for my audience to let them know that I was moving on and I was staking my claims in LifeVantage and coming over here. And one of the first people to reach out to me was Michelle, and she sent over this audio message. It wasn't even like a hello, it was like this audio message. And if you know anything about her, her energy is like 1,000 miles an hour, and to a complete stranger, just like blowing up the earphone, right? Like, and she's like, you gotta get, I think it was like you guys were like 2 weeks away from that Nashville event. And to keep in mind, I barely punched in the ID number, barely enrolled myself. And she's like commanding, like, you gotta get to Nashville. And I'm like, I don't know what Nashville is. I don't know this. I don't know anything. But if it's an indicator of the embrace of LifeVantage, that I'm all about it. It was exciting. Here I am 4 months later. I feel like I am on an expedited learning curve of this company and the industry. But while I am 100 days, 120 days into this company, I feel like a decent grasp on our profession of direct selling. And oftentimes, when you've been involved in an organization for some time, again, as we look across this organization, this Zoom call, I don't know if you've been involved for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years plus. Something that ends up happening, which is it's just natural human phenomenon. Like, we begin to take things for granted, right? We begin to take for granted all of the exciting and amazing things we have at our fingertips. Like day one, it's natural to be excited. It is absolute. Like I equate it to like relationships, right? When you get into a fresh relationship, there's that honeymoon phase that everybody talks about, right? You go out of your way to open doors, you buy the flowers, you do all the big grand romantic gestures. And over time, we begin to take our spouse or our significant other, maybe possibly for granted. We get a little bit comfortable and we begin to like stop doing those grand gestures and we begin to take it for granted and we don't see how special it is. And it isn't until something reminds us, either through maybe a near health-like crisis or something that reminds us how special something is, before we're reminded, man, we got to go out there and be disciplined and active about dating our spouses. And in the same way, why I'm saying that is, sometimes, like, again, I feel like maybe what I can try to do, even though maybe I can't train on the long-term history of LifeVantage, is tell you exactly why 100 days ago I decided to come to a 15-year-old company. Because you guys know, in this space, a lot of times, not always, people look for the newest, freshest thing, right? The new hot thing on the block. But I didn't choose that. I chose LifeVantage for very strategic reasons. And it wasn't something that was overnight. It wasn't something because some one singular thing seduced me into LifeVantage. It was a myriad of very nuanced things that I think over time, if we've been in the company a long time, we begin to take for granted. I did another Facebook Live broadcast this past weekend talking about my top 10 favorite reasons why I'm in LifeVantage. Now, that video is generic. It doesn't promote my teams. It doesn't promote organizations. Feel free to watch that if you want to kind of see what the top 10 reasons why I decided to come here. But as Tanya says, we have, give or take a few days, about 70 days till the October 11th launch at Market Connect. Okay, so we all know, I know I'm preaching to the choir when we talk about drive attendance to live events. We all know that. I want to give you a reminder why this one's going to be significant for us, right? Significant for me. And if it's significant for me and my organization, it's got to be significant for you guys as well. When I made my decision to come to LifeVantage, obviously there was a great leadership team in place. There was a great corporate team. I got to see the actual like actions and pieces being put into place with a company that wanted to innovate itself, right? We saw the brand new launch of the Evolve Comp Plan. We saw its commitment to direct sales and network marketing. Again, like I said, if you guys are familiar with the professional space, like, that there's a few companies out there that are trying to swing the pendulum one way or the other. It's a little bit extreme, right? We're looking at the ones on one side, the beauty and the complexity of direct sales, multi-level marketing, and on the other side, what seemingly seems to be the simple solution of affiliate and influencer marketing. And while it is sort of, affiliate marketing is, by the way, nothing new. It's been around for a while. But one of the things that I love about LifeVantage is this company, the inception story starts with network marketing, right? like you could argue like it's like the chicken or the egg. What is the more important inception story, right? So I'm sure the scientists and the founders of the company will argue that the discovery of Protandem NRF2, that is the most important innovation that this company has made. And I would argue, as a 20-year direct seller, that no, the partnership into network marketing is the most important decision LifeVantage made, because prior to that, it was the greatest product that nobody knew about sitting on retail shelves, right? It wasn't until it partnered through this beautiful industry where people like us, people like you, get to talk about your experiences and what I call breathing life into a product, right? Facts and formulation and science is very important. I'm not undermining that. I think it's great that LifeVantage has that in spades, but understand formulation and facts simply inform people. They do not inspire action. It's really your testimonies and your stories that inspire people to trying out the products. And so it's not just the facts, right? It's not just the formulation. It's once you can take those and connect it to a compelling story, somebody's amazing before and after stories. Those are what brings these products to life. And so I love that LifeVantage's like initial success is because of direct selling. And I'd like to think that's one of the reasons why LifeVantage is always going to be committed to the multi-level marketing world. Now, here's the beautiful part. We're not saying that it's all old school, right? And we're not also saying it's all new school, right? We're not swinging that pendulum all the way. We're understanding, and I'm placing my bets, some of these earlier companies that decided to take these knee-jerk reaction moves and full on swing it to an affiliate program, I feel like those are going to be the case studies for other companies in the next 2 or 3 years to realize maybe it wasn't a smart decision, right? Maybe we are forgetting some of the complexities about direct selling and multi-level marketing, because one of the beauty is this. I know you guys know this, but with network marketing comes beautiful things like leadership, personal development, your personal growth story, right? Culture and community are built through businesses like this, right? You drive for Uber. Yeah, it's an affiliate, influencer, gig, transactional business, whatever you want to call it, right? You drive once, you get paid once. You drive twice, you get paid twice. But I guarantee you, Uber drivers aren't getting together and saying, hey, we should listen to personal development. We should become better people. We should grow. We should build a community where we inspire each other and motivate each other to drive more. I guarantee you those things aren't happening. So community and culture cannot be replaced. It's really the stickiness to what we do. And I love that LifeVantage is really honoring both spaces in the right way. You know what I mean? Beyond that, of course, I had to, when I think my first initial meeting with LifeVantage was like right after Thanksgiving. I flew out quietly to corporate office. I got a chance to meet, of course, I knew Jake Hines through a previous business. And I met with Jake and I got introduced to the C-suite. We had a quiet meeting, initial meeting, and I liked what I saw. And then I flew back home. I said, give me the holidays. Let me think about this. I'm not going to make an overnight decision. And then I came back out in, I believe, late January for a second follow-up meeting. And at that time, I remember Jake telling me that Kristen Cunningham, our CSO, had messaged him. He's like, hey, is Daniel serious about coming? Because he's coming on all these trips to visit us. Is he really coming over or not? And, Jake's like, look, we got to give him his space. We got to let him, figure this out, right? And so I pressed on one thing. I said, hey guys, I know, like, my biggest concern is this. LifeVantage has been around for 15 years. It's give or take $200 million in annual revenue. Is there going to be an opportunity for someone like me to get involved and not just scrub, right? Meaning take a little bit of the sales of $200 million, but is there a significant opportunity for me to come and try to be one of the next presidentials, right? I have aspiring goals. I aspire to be like the leadership team. Like, is there that opportunity, or is LifeVantage, like all businesses kind of go through this. There's a point where a business reaches like a sort of a saturation point where it is what it is. Like the people who got involved 15 years ago are going to make it, and that's about it. Everybody's going to come in, make a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand, but like we know that there's certain things that like that happen. And I remember asking the team, like, I need to know in my heart that there's going to be an opportunity to grow with LifeVantage. And so, of course, I started asking the questions about innovations in the comp plan, what they were doing. And then I asked them, can you let me know what else are you guys working on in terms of products? And I remember they put me into a wall of NDAs, Now, I think some of the information is public consumption information now. So I'm glad that we get to do this call today and not like 2 months ago, because there's probably not a lot I could have said, right? But at the time, they did tell me, they hinted, hey, you know, we know where you're coming from, your previous company. We know you did a big, big run in the weight loss, weight management space. In my previous company, we took a company from obscurity, meaning like a sort of a borderline startup business, and we did $100 million run on a what I thought at the time was a very comprehensive weight loss system. And we did well. I mean, like I said, our teams were very excited about it. There were great stories. And I'll tell you why I believe weight loss is also a really powerful product. But we did that. And so they kind of knew it. So they said, hey, look, we're working on weight loss and weight management. And so I started prying. I'm like, are you guys doing protein shakes? Are you doing metabolic boosters? Are you doing fat burners? Like, what are you doing around this? And they're like, we can't tell you. All we can say is that we are the activation company. So there's going to be an activator element around it. That's all what we can tell you, right? So I said, okay. And so I got back, and that really is what kept me up at night, because I knew how powerful that category was. Now, again, this is not minimizing anything that, like, I truly believe what we have right now can still move the needle forward, right? One of the things that I like, I've been a part of direct sales for 22 years, okay? And I've been with 3 different companies prior to LifeVantage. And what I am proud to say is 100% of those 22-year career, I was always aligned to a wellness-based company. And I'll tell you why. Now, in the beginning, I didn't know this. It was just purely coincidental that my first sponsor happened to be in a wellness company. They introduced me. So I didn't choose that company. I just kind of came in because that was my sponsor. But since then, I've always proactively looked for a wellness-based company. And the reason why is this. I love that our commission checks simply reflect on how many people's health that we've been able to help transform or change or improve, right? The fact that through you sharing Protandim, through you sharing collagen, through sharing some of these wonderful products, you're kind of changing someone's trajectory of their health. And when you get that text message, or when you get that like tearful voice message saying, oh my God, my knee pains are gone. You know what I mean? These emotional stories of people that go through really incredibly powerful, life-changing moments. They weren't looking for Alaska cruises. They're not looking to make millions of dollars. All they're looking for is to solve one problem in their life. And when you introduce them to a product that can do that, that becomes way more satisfying than a commission check. I always say the commission check is a reflection of how many people's lives you're helping. So I recognized very early on in my career that I always wanted to stay aligned to powerful wellness-based products. So again, I think LifeVantage has that in spades. We see the current testimonies. But I'll tell you, there's a difference between what I call internal wellness and what I call vanity wellness. Now, vanity sounds like a superficial word. So again, just hear me out. What I mean by vanity wellness is simply wellness that you can see, right? Think about it for a second, right? I used to be a part of a really, really big nutraceutical company. I won't say the name. It's $1 billion legacy company in our profession, and they make wonderful, wonderful multivitamins. But I'll tell you this right now, Daniel Song before the multivitamins and Daniel Song after the multivitamins, my photo looks exactly the same. Now, I can talk about how I feel. I feel great. I feel healthy. I feel energetic. But it's not something that I can show on social media. Like my before and after photos look exactly the same. You guys on Omegas, you're gonna look the same. Like when you take I See Bright, your eyes don't actually get brighter. Although like they should make that happen, and that probably would be more compelling, right? Like there are certain optimizers and supplements that we take that are good for our bodies. Yes, they're measurable through science, but they aren't exactly visual. They're not vanity wellness. Now, collagen, True Science, that is vanity wellness. 9 out of the 10 stories that you guys are sharing, photos that you're sharing on social media are coming from 1, 2, or 3 of those products because they're visual. You can see the changes in signs of visible aging, the inflammation in someone's skin disorder. All of that's very visual. That's what allows somebody who's on social media doing the doomsday scroll to be able to stop and take a second. Like you have to understand that we spend so much time trying to put together a clever caption. Do you realize that 99% of people are never reading your caption? Like it was so freeing for me too, because I used to always think, oh, I got to come up with a clever caption. I got to put right emojis. And you just got to understand 90% of people are just scrolling right past that stuff. They're just scrolling like really, really quickly until something catches their attention. You have like half a second to do that. And you can't do that with internal wellness products. You can do that with vanity-based wellness products. And so what's exciting to me is this. We have great activator products like collagen, like True Science Skincare. But again, weight loss, guys, is truly visual. If LifeVantage does this correctly, which I know they are, and we're going to give people the results that we think that they're going to get, You guys are going to be in for a season of incredible, incredible dramatic before and after photos. That is the best kind of ammunition you can get, right? And guys, just understand that even if you don't have a ton of people on your team, always borrow stories. If you see a story, borrow it. I guarantee you, like, let's say, again, I'm not picking on anybody. Let's say Tanya shares a story and I decide to borrow that story and post it on my social media. I say, check out what my good friend Tanya is doing. Look at her results on this XYZ product. I guarantee you, Tanya's not going to message me and say, hey, Daniel, why'd you call me a friend? We're not friends. Like, no one's going to get offended that you called somebody a friend in life and just check out this inspiring story, right? So that's one. I think vanity, the fact that we're going to tiptoe into the weight loss and weight management, you got to also talk about relevance, right? How incredibly relevant is this conversation? First of all, weight loss is a trillion-dollar industry outside of just nutritionals and nutraceuticals and wellness and diet-based products. We're talking about a trillion-dollar industry, okay? And within direct sales, a multi-billion dollar industry. You guys can name probably 10 or 20 companies that have dabbled in the weight loss space. It's huge, but everybody has done it kind of the same way, right? Protein shakes, metabolic boosters, some type of trim product, some type of appetite suppressant. But I believe what LifeVantage is doing is going to be different. It is very, very relevant. Now, I work with a lot of dietitians and nutritionalists and a lot of wellness doctors, and we all know, we've always preached it for years and years. There's no magic bullet when it comes to weight loss, right? And that's one of the reasons why people suffer from what we call yo-yo diets, because people get involved, they find the magic bullet, it helps them lose the weight, but the moment they stop taking the product, the weight comes right back, right? Or it comes back even worse. You've jacked up your metabolism, you've hurt your body, you've deprived your body, and it's not long-term and it's not sustainable. What's exciting here is, and we used to always preach, do the lifestyle, do the right, there's like movement, there's exercise, there's clean diet, there's all these things that go into place. But one thing that we cannot deny, because numbers don't lie, society is always looking for a more efficient, quicker answer, right? That's the reason why people are turning to things like Ozempic or Moderna. Like, they're turning to these things that we know as wellness ambassadors are not the best things for our body. We know it comes with a myriad of side effects. But why is it that the numbers continue? Like, it's like McDonald's. The joke I use is McDonald's, right? Now, I don't think anybody on this call is going to be like, I proudly eat McDonald's, right? Nobody's going to raise their hands and say that. But as much as we all deny that we don't have McDonald's, there's still 8.4 billion people served every year. So somebody's eating that stuff, right? So in the same way, even though we know like medicine and things like Ozempic and Moderna as a weight loss solution is probably not the right answer, the numbers don't lie. It continues to become a huge buzzword in this like space of weight loss. So imagine being able to potentially offer a better, healthier solution to what's out there, but in a way that still sounds relevant, in a way that kind of hits all the right buzzwords, right? To me, that's huge. So again, first of all, we're hitting on the vanity wellness. Second of all, you're going to create a bunch of scroll stopping activities that allow somebody to stop and take a half a second to know a little bit more about what you're doing. And to me, here's one thing I understand about this profession. There is no company in this industry that continually hits home runs with every product launch. This is typically what ends up happening. Most companies will start the company with 1 or 2 or 3 products, but they'll start with something. And until they find their first home run, like if they don't, then they're going out of business. They're not going to make it, right? Luckily for LifeVantage, Protandim Nerf 2 ended up being a home run. But you guys have to agree, that's sort of a once in a decade type of product. You can't repeat that year after year after year after year after year. There's no company in our profession that's been able to do that. What most companies do is they hit one major home run, and what they then do is produce other backfilling products to simply create an upsell opportunity or just create a redirectional spend. Hey, come in on NRF2, try some of these other optimizers, try some of our shampoo, try some of this stuff, just to kind of capture a little bit more of that sales. But it's not the big acquisition, gate opening type of product, right? The one that really opens the floodgates to a new generation of people to come in. In my opinion, because I saw what a weight loss product did for us 15, 16 years ago when I joined a company from obscurity to $112 million. I truly believe this is that once in a decade launch of products, right? It's not a once in a year, because typically you go to a global convention, they're like, hey, announcing a new product, and you're like, woohoo, right? Every season we get a new LTO of Axio, woohoo. But what we're doing is we're just simply getting our existing customers and our existing consultants to just simply change up a flavor, maybe order one or two more products, but it doesn't necessarily move the needle forward. We don't go from 200 million to 400 million. We don't go from 200 million to 800 million. We don't go to $1 billion on LTO flavors. It's not going to happen. I hope like that doesn't surprise anybody. But a product like this, what they're about to launch on October 11th and 12th, it does have the legs. It does have the opportunity to break open a new wall, break open a new category, introduce LifeVantage to people that maybe weren't looking for the Protandim message. Maybe they weren't looking for the collagen message, but maybe they are looking for the weight loss message. But the analogy that I use is you guys have rooms in your house where there's multiple doorways into the same room, right? Let's say you have a family room and there's a doorway from the kitchen into the family room, from the hallway into the family room, from the living room into the family room. It doesn't matter how you arrive at LifeVantage. You can arrive through the door of opportunity, the door of products, the door of collagen, the door of Protandim, now the door of weight loss. But whatever room you arrive in, we know that through proper education and exposure, people get turned on to the other products that we have as well. To me, that was one of the big reasons why I said yes to LifeVantage, because that answered the question, is there an opportunity for the newest person that's like me that signs up today in LifeVantage? Do we have that opportunity to grow with this company and grow that extra 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, 300 million? And I believe in spades that LifeVantage is doing this correctly. Like I said, I look at the track record of its products. They do their products correctly. It's very relevant. It's science-backed, right? Not science borrowed. I love that Sean said that on last week's call. I love that, science-backed, not science borrowed, right? They study it. It goes through the clinical testing processes, right? And then once we get the results, now we have a strong product that you can confidently represent, share, and promote. And then you couple that with viral scroll stopping before and after photos. It is going to be a wild ride, right? I like seriously, like I have trouble sleeping right now. In a good way. Like there's bad kind of anxiety, right? There's the anxiety of, how am I going to pay for my bills? How am I going to do this? Like there's bad anxiety, but I believe there's a good type of anxiety. And that anxiety is like, how do I get one more person to Market Connect? How do I get one more person to join the team right now? Because we all know that one of the interesting things is this. Momentum is kind of like one of those magical divine type of energy that we all know we want. Like everybody wants momentum, but we're not sure how to really describe it other than it just being a really good thing for our business, right? So the one way that I was told that momentum is a multiplier to whatever your business is currently at. It's a multiplier. So that multiplier is equal for all of us. So when this October 11th event happens and the multiplier goes into effect, right? That's momentum. It multiplies our business all proportionately. So if you have one person on your team, and let's say the multiplier is a 10x multiplier, your team goes from 1 to 10. But if you have two people on your team, that multiplier times 2, that you go from 2 to 20, right? Like you see how powerful it is just to get one more person into that room, right? If you have a team of 100, times that by, you're a team of 1,000. That's the multiplier. Again, don't quote me to the math, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. The ethos behind what I'm trying to say. And so the multiplier means that even if you have a business of a small team of 3, a small team of 5, well, don't be discouraged by that. Understand how powerful it is if you can get, let's say you have an active team of 5 and you get those 5 people to all commit and go to Market Connect, right? But in the next 70 days, you really go out there and tie up your running shoes and say, you know what? I have 70 days to get really excited about this, because there aren't very many once-in-a-decade product opportunities. Some of us missed the Protandim launch. I know I did. I was too late on the, I mean, I love Protandim, but I wasn't a part of that Protandim revolution. I'm a benefactor of Protandim, but I wasn't a part of the Protandim revolution. I want to be a part of the weight loss revolution. I want to be a part of this, whatever this new product is going to be called, right? I want to be a part of that revolution. So to be able to get 1 or 2 or 3 more people there, understand the profound effects that it's going to have on your business as a multiplier, guys. You know, again, I think that I shared this on the momentum call, the recap last week. I used this analogy that to me, LifeVantage represents as a lighthouse, right? Like, I mean, you know, if you guys look at the symbology of lighthouses, like typically when there's stormy seas, dangerous conditions out there, boats are looking for lighthouses. They're a form of safety, right? It's a guiding light, right? And that to me is what LifeVantage is. Is it the sexiest new sizzle company out there? Is it the sexiest new fad company? Maybe not, right? Maybe not. You know, you have CEOs that are super charismatic and super loud and their characters. And then you got Steve Five. Like, I don't know him. I've had 2 meetings with Steve. But you know, one thing I recognize about Steve's energy is he's cool, calm, and competent, right? Those, like, do you understand? Like, there's a quote out there that says, like, security and confidence is quiet and insecurity is loud. I used to be with a company where the CEO was like the biggest star in the room. I mean, he was such a big star that even his own leaders could not be stars in that company, right? We had to compete for that attention. Steve has this cool, calm, and competent energy that I absolutely love because you can tell they know exactly where they want to go and they're strategically doing everything to make that happen. So again, the next 70 days I think is going to be incredibly exciting, guys. I'm not telling you anything that I'm not doing, by the way, guys. Like, not like literally, like, I know that I have 3 days left in the month. I know I'm not breaking rank. That's not what I'm focused on. I know I'm not going to be hitting some crazy seller tide. That's not what, you know what I'm focused on? Just getting one more enrollment. Just one more. Maybe finish out one more enrollment track, get the double points. Like, don't give up. Like, I mean, this is a game of inches, right? These things that you do, these little things you do that don't seem like you're like, well, I'm not gonna hit a rank advancement. Why would I do anything? Let's just wait till August. Like, that's the mentality that makes you miss that stop, right? You got to go out there and say, hey, what can I do today? Even though it might not be a significant rank advancement, even though I'm not doubling my group sales volume, what can I do today to ensure that I'm going to take full effect of that multiplier that inevitably is going to happen when it comes to October 11th, you know? So again, I'm sure LifeVantage is doing these strategic leaks for a reason. I think I can share this because I don't think this is proprietary. I was assured that, you know, and this is something I want you guys to keep this in mind as you guys navigate through the next 70 days. Typically a company will try to keep under wraps what they're launching, right? They won't leak it. They want you to get to a big event, and it's kind of the reward for coming to a big event. Surprise, we have a new blah 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 product, and you go, oh my God, you get excited, you go to the store, you buy it up, and you come home. And you have to now promote and sell this product with very limited training. Because again, even at a live event, like, what are you gonna get? 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour of keynotes, right? You're so excited that you're not gonna be able to absorb all that information. And what it typically does is people come back home and they have to like learn the product. They have to experience the product before they truly share the product. What LifeVantage, I believe, is doing is strategically educating us through a very strategic process so that come October 11th, we're not going in there going, I wonder what the new product is. We know. Maybe we don't see the label. Maybe we don't see the bottle design. Maybe we don't know the name. Maybe we don't know the prices, all the inconsequential stuff. But what we do know is what the products are doing, what the activators are doing. We're going to know the science. We're going to understand what the products are doing. That speeds the game up. So again, don't go to conference thinking, well, I'm just going to wait for Tanya to come home after October 11th and she'll do a Zoom call with us. She'll tell us what we missed. Like, the train is already leaving the station October 11th. Like, that's how urgent this is. And again, I know, like, look, I get it. Like, I'm sure historically speaking, you've all been on calls where they try to do the whole FOMO thing where they're like, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. You got to be there. I am a big believer in not irresponsibly using FOMO. So let me explain what that means. I believe in FOMO. FOMO is a really powerful tool. It is a really, really powerful, compelling tool to get people to engage. The thing is, if you misuse FOMO and you just simply use it as a gimmick and you get people to buy in and believe, and then what you deliver on doesn't match what you said it was going to be, it's like the boy who cried wolf. Now you're going to use FOMO as a mechanism and your teams are no longer responding to you. They're like, yeah, you told me that last year. You told me that on the last call. You told me, like, so I'm very, very judicious about how I use FOMO. And I'm not using like I'm telling you, like, if there's one time that I need to deploy FOMO for anybody in LifeVantage, it's right now. October 11th. I wish it would, by the way, selfishly for me, I wish October 11th was a global convention. I wish, because it would be my first event and it would be nothing greater than for me to attend the King of the Hill event with the launch of this product. Like I wish selfishly for me it's global convention. I get that it's Market Connect, but I have a feeling that the people that attend that event are going to see a more profound difference than maybe even going to global next year. Like I don't know. I mean, I'll come to global next year to find out, but I would argue this might be a bigger accelerator or multiplier than the next global convention. Maybe for the next decade, guys. Like that's what keeps me up at night right now. That's what gets me to feel a little bit of the good anxiety. Like, how do I get one more person there? And that's been my mission right now. So anyways, I hope Tanya, I know it's a little bit different than sharing last time, but if there's any other questions, I'm happy to share, but hopefully that does that.
Let's go. So good. Um, so you told us, I was going to ask you, tell us what we should be focusing on in these next 70 days, but you just wrapped that up and told us. But last time we had you on, you talked about your invite. If I could show you, and it was like it encompassed vanity wellness, the 3 things of vanity wellness. Will you share that with everybody? Kind of like your invite in a season like this?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that I do. One is if I can get someone to agree to taking a look at something because they understand why, and I'll explain what this is going to make sense in a little bit. It's so much more powerful than convincing somebody to come to something that they have no idea what it's going to be. So, for example, when you say, "Hey, I got this great opportunity, I got this great product, I want you to look. Do you have 45 minutes? Do you have 30 minutes? Can you jump on a Zoom call?" There's a lot of hesitation. You're going to get a lot of pushback, right? Because you haven't asked them any buy-in questions. You're asking them, "I want you to come to the presentation. I want you to take a look. Please make time. I want to present something to you." Okay. Like, look, we've all been there. Like, if I were to right now get on the Zoom call, and I'm not going to do it because I want to honor this call, but let's say I was a timeshare salesperson. I said, "Guys, I need you to come down to my timeshare presentation." 90% of you guys would decline that opportunity to come. You guys would say, "Oh, my dog needs to be fed. My aunt's coming into town. You go find a myriad of reasons not to attend, because we all know that somewhere in that presentation is going to be that awkward obligation where someone's going to say, "So do you want to join? Do you want to buy?" Right? And it creates an awkward feeling. Like, trust me, your friends don't want to reject or want to say no. Like, nobody wants to do that. But in order to avoid that awkward pressure, they're just going to simply not even show up. But the thing is, how do they find out about what LifeVantage is if they're not even looking, right? I love it when people respond and I say, "Hey, do you want to take a look?" And they go, "Oh, no, it's okay. I'm not interested." And I look at them and I don't say this to them, but in my head, I go, "Of course you don't know if you're interested. You haven't looked at the information. Like, how would you know?" So one of the things that I like to do is just simply ask them simple yes or no questions to pre-qualify them to get to a opportunity meeting, right? Whatever that meeting looks like for you. And so again, in the weight loss company I used to be with, it was very simple. Like, we used to actually have a claim that where we could say, "Hey, if I could show you a way to lose anywhere from 7 to 12 pounds in 30 days, the next 30 days, would you be interested?" It's a simple yes or no. Yes. And that yes means, now that you've said yes, can I get your permission to connect with you on a Zoom or send you a couple videos, right? Don't send them the videos and say, "Take a look, let me know what you think." You've sent them information before you've identified what their problem or concern or question is, right? So with LifeVantage, what I love about it is before the weight loss, I said, "Okay, what would that statement look like for me?" And I used to tell people over the last 100 days, like, "Hey, if I could show you a way to either feel younger on the inside or look younger on the outside, would that interest you?" Right? That's it. Because I love it. I mean, it's all vanity-based wellness. Like, how relevant is anti-aging to people? Now, people may not overtly speak on it, but we all know that people are looking for ways to maintain their youth, to turn back the clock, to feel like they did when they were teenagers. We're all looking for that. Now, some of us maybe through our exterior measurable signs of aging, maybe some of us through chronic pain and joint pain and inflammation, but whatever it is, like, the idea of turning back the clock is something that is relevant for most people. So I say, "Hey, what if I could show you a way to either feel younger on the inside or look younger on the outside, or maybe both? Would that interest you?" And if they say yes, go, can I connect you to a couple videos? Can I invite you on to our open house call? Can I invite you to meet with so-and-so? Can I invite, like, that kind of stuff? Those type of pre-qualifiers can be extremely, extremely powerful. Now, another thing that we're doing that we're having great results, I did it in the past and I was like, I should do this now again. So I did it and we're getting great results with it, is allowing it. And you do have your leadership. And I would lean into Sean and Michelle if they're willing to do this for you, which I don't see why they wouldn't. is to do, like, you remember what I talked about, like your pre-qualifier before you get them onto a meeting. I recorded a private video, right? And it's simply just me having a very, it's not PowerPoint, it's not slides, it's just a very candid conversation. Hey, Daniel Song here. Thanks for taking a look at this. It's only going to be 3 minutes, whatever it is. Like you let them know it's not going to be long. Quick 3 minute message with you. I am truly excited to share something with you. Obviously, I want to share Life Answer, whatever it is. We have some exciting things happening in our company right now. We're getting ready to launch a weight loss product. It is going to be really great. It's blah, 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 whatever it is. I wanted to see if maybe looking younger on the inside, looking younger on the outside, or possibly losing weight is of interest to you or anyone you know. And if it's of interest to you, can you please let me know? And I would love to connect on a Zoom call or a presentation with you. And it's a 2-3 minute video. Now, I made it generic where I said, if your friend invited you to watch this video, connect back with them and let them know that you want to, see more, right? And I did that because a lot of our friends, like they don't have the 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 posture or the confidence to be able to share that message, right? They're going into an invite very intimidated. They're like, I can you please, like, and we go in that way, and that energy is not going to necessarily get someone to say yes, right? So if you have some of your leaders that record, and again, the goal is to create a very, very authentic, sincere, very low-key video. It's not like music. You're not trying to spice things up. It's meant to be a very, very simple, just candid 2-minute, 3-minute conversation. Like, hey, if this interests you, is there an opportunity for us to connect? If your friend sends you this video link, and again, leave it unlisted on YouTube, right? You can just send it as a private video. And then it's like your whole team can use that video, right? Tanya, if you wanted to record a video for your team, you could do that. Hi, this is Tanya. I don't know who introduced you to this video, but I have something really exciting that you or your friend may want to share with you. And then just say, like, look, do 1 or 2 or 3 of these things sound exciting to you? And if so, please let us know. And we'd love to connect with you on a call or on a whatever, send you more video. You know what I mean? And now, so people have been sending out those YouTube videos and getting bites to jump onto calls now. And that's how we're booking appointments for Zooms. This is how we're booking appointments for the open house calls and driving to those calls. This is how we're booking appointments for them to watch the replay videos and whatever it is. Or we're just sending them, because they might respond. They're like, well, I'm not interested in the opportunity, but hey, can you tell me more about collagen? Boom, I grabbed them the collagen video and send it. But I got their permission to send them that information. They're looking for it. And so the transaction at the end of that conversation is a lot more positive than it's been than just going in and say, hey, will you come to take a look at a presentation that I'm excited about, So.
Awesome. You're amazing. I could listen to you all day. I don't want this to end, but we're going to call it. And just thank you again for pouring into us, Daniel. I just appreciate you being so willing to say yes and speaking to everybody that maybe hadn't met you personally, and for sharing your story again. Thank you for saying yes to LifeVantage. It's just always such a blessing for those of us that have been around for a long time to see someone that's so seasoned in the industry to come in and like breathe that new vitality into us and remind us why we said yes. So we're grateful for you. All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. That is a wrap. Everybody have a great Monday. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys in October.
Woo! Bye, everybody.